Muy buenas chicos y chicas, al habla Chibique y aquí seguimos en Persona 3 Reload. Lo habíamos dejado aquí en el tártaro después de haber alcanzado creo que ya el piso 198 si no estoy equivocado. Y bueno, aquí podéis ver los personajes que voy a llevar conmigo, ¿vale? Muy importante es llevar un fortuna, amantes, justicia y emperatriz para los vínculos sociales que vamos a continuar subiendo de nivel. Y dicho esto, vamos fuera del tártaro.
Oh, hello.
Vale, gente, se viene un momento muy importante, ¿ok? Media mañana del día 29 de noviembre. Hoy no hay clase y empieza la teletienda. Hay que comprar lo que hoy venden en la teletienda. Súper importante de cara al futuro. Hoy lo que nos venden es calzado de perdición, ¿vale? Ese equipamiento es súper necesario para un combate que tendremos más adelante. Así que compradlo, ¿vale? Súper importante.
Thanks, kid. Bye-bye.
Una vez os hayáis hecho con el lote de la teletienda, vamos a ir al centro comercial de Paulonia para vender todos los tesoros que hemos conseguido en el tártaro y también obtener las recompensas por haber salvado a un par de personas.
Now you're here. I'm counting on you. By the way, much obliged. Good to see you. What do you got? Wanna sell in bulk? Sure, it's a deal. You finished? Come back soon.
Una vez que hayáis pasado por la comisaría, vamos a continuar con la subida de nivel de los vínculos sociales hasta que llegue la noche, donde volveremos al tártaro para completar una nueva solicitud de Elizabeth.
Right. Thank you. I've been waiting. I finished my story and wanted to show it to you. I was having a lot of trouble with the ending. But after the alligator ate his friend, the bird, he cried and cried for a long time. In fact, he was so sad that he drowned in his own tears. His tears became a sparkling lake, around which grew beautiful flowers, and a tree that bore delicious fruit. The other animals in the forest came there often to relax, but none of them knew the alligator had created it, or that he was gone. The end. That's the ending I decided on. Even though the alligator didn't find meaning in his life, the residents of the forest did. They just didn't realize it. The meaning of my life isn't something I should spend my time on. It's more about how I was able to affect others. So, for me, or you, or anyone, just simply existing gives our lives meaning. People can't survive without help from others. We all depend on one another. I don't know how to explain it, but does that make sense? I'm glad. This is the notebook I wrote my story in. I've poured my heart and soul into it. I wanted to give you this, since you shared my final moments. My body feels lighter. I'm so grateful to have met you. It seems so insignificant, but maybe there was some meaning in it for both of us. Thank you. In the end, I'm glad that I was born.
I am thou. Thou art I. The bond thou hast nurtured hath finally matured. The innermost power of the sun art we now bestow upon thee. The ultimate form of the sun within myself.
I have to go now. Maybe someday we'll meet again. I'd like that.
Oh, welcome back. By the way,
Como os comentaba antes, ha llegado la noche y ahora nos vamos a dirigir al Tártaro. ¿Qué es lo que vamos a hacer ahí? Pues completar una solicitud de Elizabeth, concretamente la solicitud número 88, donde nos pide derrotar a una sombra avariciosa en Jarabá, que es la última zona en la que estuvimos. Vale, chicos, si no la habéis hecho, esta es vuestra oportunidad y vais a ver que es muy fácil de cumplir dicha misión con una de las habilidades de Fuka que hemos desbloqueado. Aceptamos la misión.
by all means. Very well then.
Ahora nos vamos a dirigir al teletransporte y vamos a ir al comienzo de Jarabá, que es en el piso 179. Aquí vamos a ir avanzando de piso en piso hasta que aparezca esa sombra avariciosa.
Could it be?
Aquí la tenemos. ¿Cómo vamos a atraparla? Pues como os comentaba antes, con una habilidad de Fuka.
I speculate.
La perseguimos, claro. Fuka ya nos dice que podemos utilizar su habilidad. Lo vamos a hacer.
All right. Let's do this.
Bueno, como habéis podido observar, gracias a la habilidad Inspección del Tártaro de Fuka, hemos logrado saber a dónde se dirigía la sombra avariciosa y la hemos atrapado. Así que ahora ya solo queda derrotarla.
Well done avoiding that, Amada. Keep it together. Now! I'm ready. I'll show you my power. Palladium, move out. That's a win for the team. Good job, everyone. Amazing! All right.
Con la sombra avariciosa derrotada, tan solo tenemos que volver a la entrada del tártaro y completar la solicitud de Elizabeth.
Good day. Are you accepting a request? Wonderful.
Como recompensa, ayuda vital.
Very well then.
Esto es todo por el momento, chicos. Volvemos a la realidad.
Oh, hello.
Como siempre, vamos a continuar con la subida de vínculos sociales y haciendo determinadas tareas.
So, in this section, do you understand? Well, the answer was pretty obvious.
Hey, so... Thanks. Hey, do you remember when those guys stole my wallet and you came to help me? Sorry I got so mad at you. I was just frustrated. I don't like having to depend on other people. But it ended up happening anyway. You know, I couldn't say it at the time, but I'm actually glad you came. Maybe because it's you. So, I want to thank you properly. Thanks for your help back then. I really appreciate it. It was honestly kind of cool. Whew, that's a big weight off my shoulders. Let's head back down. The roof doesn't get a lot of foot traffic, so I think it's a good place to have serious conversations. But couples tend to sneak up here too. If anyone sees us, the rumor mill might go crazy again. Wouldn't that be annoying? You know, if people assumed we were dating. Really?
I'm not sure if you're being brave or oblivious. Still, that's something special about you. You don't get bogged down by what other people think. Uh-oh. They say a sneeze means someone's talking about you. Well, let's head on home, yeah? Oh, welcome back. You're late. Ryoji-kun was just leaving.
Oh, hey there. Chilly out, huh? You know, I stop by here pretty often. Weird we never see each other. Well, I'm out of here. See you later.
Later, Ryoji.
Was that Ryoji-san?
Yeah, he said he was going home.
Why was he here?
To see Junpei. They've been hanging out a lot ever since the school trip.
But the rules state that visitors aren't allowed here.
Yeah, but Kirijo-senpai said it's cool as long as no one stays late.
I don't think we have anything to worry about. He is dangerous.
Dangerous? Ryoji-kun? Come to think of it, he did hit on Mitsuru-senpai the first time he met her.
But having him around has really helped cheer you up, Junpei-kun.
Well, no point in dwelling on the past, right? Won't change a damn thing.
That's true.
What's up, Ai-chan?
I'm fine. It's just... I envy you, Junpei. I'm a machine, so I don't understand what it feels like to live.
Really? But you don't seem that different.
In my case, it's more accurate to say that I'm operational as opposed to alive. There are times when I malfunction, but I can always be repaired.
Well, if we were all like you, then we never have to worry about dying. Oh, crap! I don't have time to talk right now. I've got a mountain of homework. Serves me right for slacking. Well, no use whining.
Junpei studying on purpose? I guess he'll finally froze over. Well, better call it a night then.
The gift of life is not something I should possess. A weapon is much more difficult to operate when it's alive. That said, I believe I understand the concept of loss. Leader, the thought of something happening to you, it makes me... Understood. You are very special to me. I can't explain why, but I never want to leave your side. I want to protect you at all costs, to be there for you always. I apologize for keeping you. You must be tired. So much has happened in so little time. Albert, good night. Yoji Mochizuki. He is dangerous. What is this unsettling feeling? I am a machine. I can't die, so no one will have to grieve for me. I have to do something. I don't want to see them suffer anymore.
Yes. Thank you.
If you wanna go ahead.
Today, I'd like to make a snack food that would pair well with tea. That said, I'm not terribly well versed in the art of cuisine. So I'm hoping to make some simple karumeyaki. Did your teachers ever show you how to make it? Karumeyaki is a confectionery that was passed down from Portugal during the Sengoku period. Karame derives from the Portuguese word caramelo, or caramel in English. Well, it might be faster if you just see for yourself. Let's get started. Temperature control is key. We want to turn off the heat right before it hits 130 degrees Celsius. Oh, we should keep things moving. Let's put the sugar in the ladle first. What a nostalgic flavor. It may not require hours in the kitchen, and the taste isn't particularly complex. But I'm quite fond of these. And more than anything, it's nice that we can make it ourselves. You know, when I saw this for the first time, I thought it was like magic. I've tried making it myself a number of times, but I ended up burning it on every attempt. I guess you could call it a bittersweet memory. But I didn't give up. I continued practicing. And that's finally led to our success today. What do you think? Hearing you say that makes me glad to have shared it. Back home, there were plenty of opportunities to host formal dinners and tea parties, but I never considered it particularly admirable to have someone else prepare the extravagant dishes. Doing the cooking myself also allows me to talk with you like this. And isn't that sort of familiarity the key to understanding each other better? I think this might have been what I was missing. Instead of complaining about being difficult to approach, I needed to create an opportunity for change. It's fascinating, the kind of things you learn by simply inviting someone over for tea. Thank you. I hope we can talk again like this sometime. Oh, right, I had a favor to ask. There's still some sugar and baking soda left. Do you think you could help me make another batch? Karameyaki keeps for a long time. This could be a good chance to make some for the others. Hello. It's me. Sorry for calling so late. Now then, about the new arrival from the other day. I'd like to ask that you perform a full autopsy. If we find any distinctive features, we may be able to locate her family. I can't help but think that the Kirijo group is connected to Strega in some way. Considering this, I think it would be disrespectful to sweep her death under the rug. And of course, I'll take full responsibility. What? What did you just say? Transmogrified. The body? But judging by the post-mortem, we were certain she was... All right. I'm sorry, but please keep this strictly confidential until we know more. If there are any other changes... Yes, right then. What is going on? I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens for now.
Thanks for coming. Well, how do I put this? I suddenly just got this feeling that I'm running out of time, and I felt like I had to see you. I had to talk to you. Sorry. I'm not even sure what I wanted to say to you. So, I guess for today, I'd like to say thanks. It hasn't been that long since we met, but I feel like I've learned so much by spending time with you. I just really wanted to thank you for that. You showed me around the school and the city. I got to hang out with you and the others. I even got to go on a trip with you. That was a lot of fun. It's been a joy to experience and learn new things every day. Just like this. I guess I wanted you to hear this song. When I saw those couples in Kyoto, or when I visited you guys at the dorm, I realized that's what it really means to build a connection with someone. It's that feeling of overcoming something together and keeping each other going. Both sides need to come to an understanding. That's how connections are built, right? I want you to know that you're important to me. I know I said I wanted us to be friends, but I actually want to be something more. What about you? I don't really get it myself, but
Excuse me? Oh, it's you. Sorry, I hope I didn't interrupt. I was just passing through the hall, and I heard someone playing a beautiful song on the piano. So I thought I'd stop by to watch the performance. Who was the one playing? Was it you? Oh, I wanted to ask. It might have just been my imagination, but I thought I sensed Ryoji-kun's presence in this room. Were you not with him? Hmm?
Welcome back.
So dance. If you wanna go ahead, free to do whatever. I'm chilling on my bed. Minding my biz, so mind your own biz. Whatever like is, we gon' flow with the set. Hey, 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 feeling the fire with the burning desire.
Hey!
Every day we inspire, but never expires. But we gon' chill today. Let me rock the world tomorrow, you know.
Yes!
We're finally at the last episode. I wonder how it's going to end. You know, about this series, I mentioned before how it caught my attention, but I was afraid it might be too scary for me. But I'm glad I watched it. Guess it's important to break out of your comfort zone sometimes. Do you ever try watching things from genres you don't normally get into? Wow. I could learn a thing or two from you. Trying out all kinds of shows seems like a good way to find hidden gems. Watching this together made me realize how much I appreciated the main character. Like how she can't turn a blind eye to people in need and extends her hand to almost anyone. And of course the way she kept pressing forward no matter what happened. It was so inspiring. Come to think of it, isn't she just like you? That might be a stretch. Remember how I told you about that girl I was close to who started ignoring me one day? It's not like I did anything to make her hate me. We'd been friends for a long time, but one day out of the blue, she just said, "My mother told me I can't play with you anymore." It's because there were rumors floating around about my parents. I kinda get it now, looking back, but at the time I was just sad. What I'm trying to say is, this show made me realize I'd like to be a little more like the main character. I want to be the kind of person who'd help anyone at any time. Someone who's kind and strong. It might be silly to say I look up to a fictional character, but there's no harm in following her example. At least that's what I think. Oh, the last episode's starting. That ending was so good! I hope they'll make a sequel. I'll bring more DVDs I'm curious about next time. Oh, it's about time we head back to our rooms. Have a good night, okay?
Good morning. No.
This is so good. I made the right choice getting the same thing as you. Oh, I was just thinking, doesn't eating fish remind you of the ocean? It's a part of our lives, I guess, living along the coast. We even spent our vacation at the beach. Hey, after all this is over, why don't we go somewhere different, like the mountains? We could have lunch outdoors. Maybe we'll even see a deer or something. What do you think? Right? Alright then, I'll make us lunch. I might not look like it, but I'm a pretty good cook. Just you wait and see. It's been a while since we've talked about going on vacation. I'm excited just thinking about it. I'm not sure how to say this, but when I'm with you, I don't feel so alone. I mean, I do have friends, and there's everybody at the dorm, but usually I feel like the real me is trapped somewhere deep down inside. Maybe it's because of my family situation, but I'm always pushing people away without realizing it. Lately, though, that's been changing. And I think it's thanks to you. Well, that was delicious. It's getting late. Shall we head out?
Momento importante, chicos. A partir del 2 de diciembre va a haber algunos días que vamos a trabajar a tiempo parcial en la cafetería Chagall. ¿Y para qué? Para la obtención de un trofeo. Así que esto debéis hacerlo.
I've been looking for you. What are you doing here?
I kinda just ended up here somehow. It's so strange. The sky and the ground look all weird, and there's no one around. Something bad's happening right now. But for some reason, I feel at peace.
Have you forgotten?
What?
This is the dark hour. Ordinary people shouldn't be free to roam about. You've adapted to it somehow. Too well for a human. I finally understand. That's why I feel this way whenever you are around. You are dangerous. You are my enemy.
Your enemy? Enemy. That's right. It was on a night like this, with a full moon. It was a long time ago.
Yes, we've met once before. You and I were enemies.
Who am I? Who are you?
I am Aegis, the last of the anti-shadow suppression weapons. I was created to destroy shadows.
Created to destroy.
And your true name is Death. You are the shadow I sealed away 10 years ago.
Shadow. Yes, 10 years ago, on the night when I was born, I stood on this very bridge.
My sole purpose is to destroy shadows. That is the reason why I was given both a sense of self and a persona.
I am the bearer of the 13th Arcana. Everyone knew me as Death. But when I came into being, a part of my power was broken off and scattered. I wasn't at my full strength back then. I was incomplete.
Even so, your power was still far too great. Since I was unable to defeat you, my only option was to seal you away. However, under the circumstances, there was only one suitable vessel. A human boy who had the misfortune of being nearby. I had no other choice.
Now I see. I was inside of him all this time. And I unwittingly led him to discover my 12 missing pieces. And then... I get it. I understand now. I remember everything. I know exactly who and what I am.
Palladius!
Don't be foolish, I guess. You can't win. I'm even stronger than before.
A machine is created to serve a specific purpose. I will destroy you. That is my only reason for existing!
It doesn't have to be that way, I guess.
Sorry. I can't carry out my mission. I'm a machine that can't fulfill its purpose. I have no reason to exist. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm so sorry. I'm scared.
Juno! Did something happen? Yukari? What? Well, I realize it's a full moon tonight. You did too, huh? Oh, God. I'm turning into a workaholic. Wait. Is something actually going on?
We're not certain of anything yet, but we can't find Igus.
What? Where could she have gone?
At one point, I was able to sense a persona, but I lost Igus right after that.
You sensed a persona? Could it have been Strega?
Well, she hasn't detected any of them, but we can't be positive.
I've pinpointed her location, the Moonlight Bridge.
All right, call the others. Let's see what's going on over there.
Igus!
I'm sorry. I remember everything. I remember who I am, who he is. Leader, I know why I wanted to be by your side. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You have no reason to apologize.
You?
Ryoji-kun? Wait, what are you doing here?
Igus!
What is going on? It's all my fault.
You did this?
Hold on, Akihiko. He's not showing any signs of aggression. Now tell us, who or what are you?
Turns out, I'm not so different from the creatures you call shadows.
You're a shadow?
I'm more than just an ordinary shadow. I'm the Appriser, born from the union of the 12 Arcana.
The Appriser?
I remember everything now. The terrifying truth about the shadows. And about me. I can't... It's all so hard to believe.
You know the truth about the shadows?
I do.
What?
The shadows are here to facilitate the rebirth of the maternal being. As for the Appriser, it draws the maternal being to it, allowing her to awaken.
And the Appriser, that's you?
That's right.
His maternal being.
She's on a level of her own. No words in our language can describe her. 10 years ago, A man collected hordes of shadows and contained them in a laboratory. That's where I was born. But the unification was interrupted, and I awoke before I was complete. After that, Aegis took me down, and I returned the favor.
Aegis? Is this for real, Ryoji?
She knew she couldn't destroy me completely, so out of desperation, she sealed me within a child who just happened to be nearby. That child grew up carrying me inside him, and by some twist of fate, he later made his way back here. He even transferred to your school.
A transfer student? You don't mean...
That's right. I've lived inside him for a long time.
But how...
And when his persona awakened, the 12 shadows did as well. All in order to become one with me.
Ryoji, you're the Appriser? And you were inside of him? How the hell do you expect us to just believe all that?
It's all my fault. I'm sorry. But there's more I need to tell you.
Ryoji-kun!
He's completely worn out. Let's let him rest for now. Aegis needs us too. We'll pick up where we left off after that. He's awake now. Let's meet tonight on the 4th floor.
Got it.
All right. I'll see you then.
Damn you, Ryoji.
It looks like we're all here.
Are you okay, Ryoji-kun?
Yeah, I'm okay. Besides, I have more to tell you guys.
Ryoji-kun.
Then allow me to jump right in. We have many questions that need answers, after all. Yesterday, you said the shadows were here to facilitate the rebirth of the maternal being. Tell us more about this. What happens if she returns?
The maternal being is called Nyx.
Who the hell's Nyx?
Nyx is the mother of shadows. In ancient times, she bestowed death upon this world. If she awakens, the world will be swallowed by darkness, and all life will perish.
All life?
Are you saying everyone will die?
It'd be more accurate to say that we'll all surrender the will to live.
Wait, are you talking about the lost? The fall.
But there's still a way to stop it from happening, right? What? Don't tell me there's nothing we can do.
I'm sorry.
Wait, why are you apologizing? Are you saying there's no way to stop it?
That's right. You heard the bell. That's when it was all decided. I'm the Appriser. The Appriser of Death. The fact that I'm here at all proves the fall is coming.
The fall is coming.
When will it happen?
I don't think you'll live to see next spring.
That's barely any time at all. What are you guys freaking out about? Nick schmicks, am I right? All we gotta do is win and we're golden. And we haven't lost a single fight yet, have we?
You can't win. When you're up against Nyx, it's like trying to fight the inevitable. Like death or the flow of time. Nyx can't be defeated. She just can't.
What? This is bullshit!
This is all so sudden.
I was born from a collection of shadows, but now I have a human form, so I can talk with you, laugh with you, cry with you. It's the gift I received for existing within him, and because of that, I can give you a choice.
A choice?
Nyx's arrival is unavoidable now, but you can choose to live in peace until she arrives. You just have to kill me. If the appriser disappears, all recollection of the dark hour would go with me. And that would erase any memories of this hopeless reality. There'd be no way for you to remember anything. When the fall comes, it'll happen in an instant.
We'll forget everything?
I'm saying you can go back to your normal lives. And by doing that, you might buy a little time and delay the fall too. Technically, I'm the same as Nyx, so I can't be killed. But thanks to him, there's a part of me that's become human. So if it's done by his hand, then it may be possible.
Ryuji-kun.
If you don't kill me, everything will stay just as it is. With no hope for salvation, you'll live every day paralyzed by the fear of your impending death. And I don't want to put you through something like that. This is something only you can do.
Well, I definitely don't want my memories erased. I mean, forgetting all this would be like trying to hide from the truth.
Is that really such a bad thing? If you don't do this, all that awaits is despair greater than you can possibly imagine. You don't understand the terror of certain death. Don't make your decision without at least thinking about it first.
Why is this happening?
You don't have to decide right now. There's still some time. December 31st, New Year's Eve. You have until then to think about it. After that, I'll dissolve into the blackness of the dark hour and lose my physical form.
Yachi.
When Nyx arrives, I'm going to disappear anyway. So please, don't worry about me. I'll be back when New Year's Eve rolls around.
Hey! Ryuji, wait!
Stop, Jinbei-kun! I felt Ryuji-kun's presence vanish just now. There's no point in chasing him. Ryuji-kun.
I guess he'll be back.
Estoy de vuelta, chicos, para comentaros una cosita, y es que a partir del 3 de diciembre va a haber alguna noche donde me veréis ir a la zona recreativa del centro comercial Paulonia a subir las estadísticas de los Persona. Esto no es obligatorio que lo hagáis, con lo cual podéis aprovechar este tiempo para hacer cualquier otra cosa que os hayáis dejado por el camino, ¿vale? Quiero que lo sepáis.
And then... Yeah, exactly. What?
Hello. Greatly appreciated. Interesting. So this is what the interior... It's smaller than I expected. Well, technically, yes. But I did pass by once with Akihiko. So, I understand that you don't eat with utensils here? My lack of knowledge on this subject is a serious problem. In all honesty, it's a good thing you're here. Is it actually profitable to sell these items at such low prices? I'd be interested to know the average cost per unit. Oh, sorry, I found myself lost in thought again. In truth, I didn't ask you here just to eat. I wanted to express my personal thanks to you. Right now, our strength and conviction are being tested to their limits. We've only made it this far because we've been blessed with each other's partnership. I know I've been asking a lot of you, even more than the others, but I truly appreciate it. I just wanted to make sure you knew that. Oh, I didn't realize we were talking for so long. It would be rude to let the food grow cold. Shall we begin?
Sorry.
Estoy de vuelta, nos encontramos en el día 4 de diciembre por la noche y vamos a completar una nueva solicitud de Elizabeth.
Marvelous. I'm looking forward to it. Are you accepting the
Solicitud
request?
número 97. Consigue el regalo de Papá Noel de Elizabeth. Ok.
Oh, yes. I will await a report of success. Very well then.
Misión muy sencilla de completar. Vamos a salir del centro comercial Paulonia y nos vamos a la zona de tiendas de Iguatodai. Una vez aquí, si os fijáis justo encima, veréis a un hombre con una exclamación sobre su cabeza. Subís por las escaleras y habláis con él. El hombre nos ha preguntado si podemos demostrarle que hemos hecho algo bueno por el mundo. Tenemos en nuestro poder una carta de agradecimiento de una persona desaparecida a la cual rescatamos en el Tártaro, así que se la entregamos. Feliz Navidad a usted también, señor, y con esto hemos completado la solicitud de Elizabeth, así que vamos a por nuestra recompensa.
Good day. Are you accepting a request? Let's hear the results. Marvelous. Is that true?
Obtenemos una caja de incienso y la recompensa de 3 rubíes.
Very well then.
Pues chicos, toca continuar con nuestra vida cotidiana. Ahora mismo tenéis el tiempo libre hasta mañana.
Hate to be here. What? But like... Hey! Hey, mind if I go take a look at some earrings? I've been wanting new ones, but I can never seem to make up my mind. They're all so cute, you know? There are too many options to choose from. I know! Why don't you come help me pick something out? Yeah! Come on then, let's go! Hang on, I've got a call. Hello? Uh-huh. What? You're not doing it? You want my approval first? Wait, it's fine. You can do what you want to do. What I mean is, if that's what you really want, then go ahead. It's your choice, so you really don't have to worry about me. Well, then, do you want to meet up and talk about it? Hey, stop it, don't cry. I'll try to call you more too, okay? All right. Bye. And that was my mom. She apologized for everything that's happened. She said she won't get remarried until I'm okay with it. That's weird. I can't stop shaking for some reason. Can we sit for a while? Sorry about all that. I'm fine now. I was just surprised. I never expected this to happen. I told her we could meet up and talk about her remarriage. I'm nervous just thinking about it. I don't exactly want to. I'm afraid it might get ugly. We haven't seen each other in almost 10 years, so it's not going to be easy. I'm afraid I'll get angry and say something cruel. Still, I think it's time I try talking to her. I've been saying how wrong it is to run away, so I need to live up to my own advice. You know, I think she still misses my dad deep down, but she couldn't handle it, losing someone so important to her. That's why she needed someone to lean on. I think losing someone you love and having to go on alone is... I'm not sure how to explain, but I realized this after being with you. I think being in love means giving a part of yourself away, and that's a wonderful thing. I mean, just in general, you know? The earrings can wait till next time. Let's just go home for today.
Right.
So dance if you want. Top shot and I'm down and round. I'm gonna drive until the break into the morning out. I'm on a mission routing out with it. It's amazing commodities! I'm going to do it. Good, good. Not bad, kid. Thanks, kid. Bye-bye.
What's up?
I never feel like
I'm all fired up now.
miserable. I never knew I'm thinking this.
Glad we can meet up one more time before I take off. I told you last time, right? I'm getting a job.
factory's way out west, so I'm moving into a dorm there. I've already sent my luggage. I just gotta send myself. My mom started crying and blaming herself. But I'm the one who wants to do this. This is a new chapter in my life. Guess I should say goodbye to this ramen, too. Well then, Sure, then let's head to the station. Hey. I want you to hang on to that. Well, it's a car key, obviously, but it's not just any car key. It's the key to my dad's car. I've been keeping it for good luck. Sometimes I get pretty pissed that he's not around anymore. My life wouldn't have been so complicated, you know? I could have enjoyed track more. I wouldn't have had all that pressure to be the best. But by blaming him like that, I was just running away from my problems. That's why I want you to have it. I don't want to risk running away again. But if I know you have it, I'll be able to stand on my own 2 feet. Then next time we meet, I can still be proud of who I am. Thank you.
I am thou. Thou art I, the innermost power of the star arcana. We now bestow upon thee the ultimate form of the star within thyself.
We'll see each other again someday. No.
So dance, if you wanna go ahead. Free to do whatever, I'm chilling on my bed. I'm minding my biz, so mind your own biz. Shouting, I'm down and proud. I'm gonna travel to the peak and to around and go. I'm on a mission route.
Morning. Yeah.
That's why. Then Thank you. Interesting. So this takoyaki doesn't contain an entire octopus, but only a small portion. I mean, that does make sense. The entire creature would be far too large for a single person. Sometimes my own ignorance truly astounds me. Seeing is believing, I suppose. Excuse me, one piece of takoyaki, please. What? Oh, they're only sold in multiples? How generous. So I'll receive an entire tray for this price. So it's filled with diced octopus. Interesting. There's a mild sourness combined with the chewy texture of the seafood. Quite flavorful. Are there other ingredients mixed in? In any case, it's quite good. C'est très bon. That reminds me, Akihiko once mentioned this place. Speaking of Akihiko, don't you think he's been acting differently lately? I can't place my finger on it, but I've known him for quite a long time. It feels like something's changed. Maybe he's just maturing. Of course I'm happy. With all that we've been through, it can be difficult to get over what's happened in the past. But Akihiko is using his experiences to make himself stronger. I'm quite impressed by that. When I look at Akihiko, I can't help but reflect upon my own life. It's the most peculiar feeling. Anxious. Maybe a part of me is panicking because I feel like I'm being left behind. Sorry, don't mind me. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Sorry to subject you to my thoughtless rambling. Just forget I said anything. Thank you. That takoyaki was absolutely delicious. We should eat here again sometime.
Oh. I think...
You know, there's not much time left for us to spend like this. In just a short while, we'll be looking back on these days with nostalgia. No, I'm probably just tired. It's nothing you need to worry about. Since my father passed away, I've been faced with a number of complicated issues. My inheritance, the future of the Kirijo group, and the expectations of everyone involved with both. It's possible I won't be going to college or starting a career. I mean, say, what does marriage mean to you? That's a straightforward answer. However, I'm a Kirijo. I can't let my feelings tug me around when making these decisions. An agreement between two parties, such as marriage, takes careful consideration. My parents' marriage was arranged for strategic reasons. But as time passed, they slowly grew to honestly love each other. I don't think they were unhappy with their lives. Love can take many different forms. Am I wrong about this? Please, wouldn't you know if I did? We're living under the same roof. Besides, that's a bit... How do I say this? Romance just isn't my strong suit. Looks like we ended up staying until closing time. Talking in the library. I'm not setting a very good example as student council president. We should go.
Hello. Thank you. It's so simple. You just purchase a ticket at the window and then walk in to enjoy a film. This may sound silly to you, but I've always wanted to try the whole theater experience. Even though we sat at the end of the aisle, I didn't feel that my view was compromised in the least. It seems a lot of thought goes into the design and construction of a movie theater. It's thanks to you. I've never felt comfortable enough to come here alone. I'm sure most people don't consider this to be such a big deal. I imagine someone like Yukari would have no reservations seeing a movie by herself. She's likely more suited to riding a motorcycle than I am as well. Yes, you must have seen it when I wrote in to provide support for the team. However, that wasn't my original motivation for getting it. With a motorcycle, I can go where I want, when I want. You could say it's my modest attempt at rebellion against the many restrictions of my life. After it was damaged, I considered letting go, but ultimately I decided to have it repaired instead. I don't regret it. Even now, I spend my time tuning it whenever I can. Together? Just the two of us. Can you ride one on your own, or do you plan to cling on behind me? Whichever it is, you've got your work cut out for you. In any case, you have my thanks. I'm feeling a lot better now. You know, I have to wonder, when my parents went through stressful times, maybe they had moments like this too. Sorry, I know this isn't the proper place to stand around chatting, but if it's all right with you, why don't we stay here a bit longer before heading back?
Hey. Yeah.
If you wanna go ahead, free to do whatever. I'm chilling on my bed, minding my biz. So mind your.
Hello, this is Elizabeth speaking. I'm calling in regard to a recent change in Tartarus. It seems that a path that had been blocked off is now open. I thought it prudent to inform you. Well then, I wish you a safe journey.
Hello. Right. Yes. Sorry to drag you along on this personal venture. No, not exactly, but thank you. Looking through the literature section made me realize something. There are so many books about romance, but far fewer on the domestic life that comes after it. I wonder if that means the most exciting time in one's life comes prior to the wedding. Does everyone go into marriage with the expectation of losing something? The truth is, the group is in turmoil over the inheritance issue. And some of the older members are of the opinion that a student like me isn't up to the task. But I'm the daughter of the head of the group. I need to show that I can take the lead, even if I have to make sacrifices to do it. Fiancé has been chosen for me. He's the new president of one of our affiliates, and he's much older than me. But if I agree to the marriage, the future of the company will be secured. He's planning to announce the partnership and our engagement at the same time. Doing so will give the appearance that the company is stable both inside and out. This is the best solution for everyone involved. Well, of course you didn't. You're the only person I've told so far. My mother and father walked the same path, so I won't run from my fate. You shouldn't make promises you can't keep. What could you possibly do? Still, though, hearing you say that almost makes me want to believe. Say, recently I've been feeling a little hesitant about meeting up with you like this. I already made the decision to carry out my duty. But whenever I talk with you, my resolve begins to falter. Why do I feel this way when I'm with you? I think it would be best if we left off here for today. Sorry to do this after inviting you out here, but I need to head home and go over some paperwork on the partnership. Excuse me. All right. It looks like everyone's here now.
Well, it's been a week. What's our plan? You okay, Fuka? You're just so calm, Yukari-chan. I mean, panicking's not gonna solve anything. Besides, it's been such a drag around here all week, and no one will go to Tartarus.
You're absolutely right. We humans are quite resilient. With enough time, we can adapt to any situation. So, how about it, everyone?
Have you made up your mind, Sonata-san?
No, but I don't plan on running away.
So you're going to fight Nyx?
I don't know. I mean, it supposedly can't be defeated. What about you? What are your thoughts on it?
Honestly, this is the first time I've ever really contemplated my own death. In any case, we have to choose one way or the other. I obviously don't want to suffer, but that means we'd have to take a life. Not to mention, we die no matter what we do.
Then, do we all agree that we don't want to hurt Ryoji-kun?
Is that how you feel?
Me? That's fair. I mean, it's not exactly normal to pick how you're gonna die. What about you, Junpei? Have you decided?
Nah.
What's the matter? Scared?
What the hell is wrong with you? You think this is a joke?
Junpei,
This is death we're talking about here. Of course I'm scared. And here you all are, just chatting it up like it's a goddamn picnic. Can't you see? We're all gonna die.
Then what do you think we should do? Do you want to kill him?
There's nothing I can do. He's the only one who can kill him. Hey, this whole thing is your fault. You had that thing inside you and didn't even know it. You raised it, damn it! If it weren't for you, none of this would have happened.
Junpei!
You're supposed to be special, right? Then do something about it!
Stop it, Junpei. It's not his fault. And the only reason we even have a choice is because he carried it.
God damn it, I know! It doesn't matter how many times I tell myself. I know this doesn't fix anything. It scares the hell out of me!
I know how you feel, Junpei-kun.
We're all scared. I'm scared too.
Me too. I've never felt so cornered in my life.
Same here. We're all in the same boat. And hey, I'm sorry for teasing you earlier. I just don't want to forget everything. I've learned so much since coming here.
Yucatan, I'm sorry.
I don't think any of us can blame you right now, Junpei. So don't worry about it. Right?
I'm sorry. I knew the truth deep down, but still, sorry for being a dick.
All right. Let's put a pause on any unnecessary gatherings for now. Ryoji said he'll be back on New Year's Eve. Let's just try to go about our lives until then. We have some time, so let's consider our options while we still can.
Everyone, listen up.
What?
I'm sorry. I think I've acquired a taste for fast food. Just the other day, I had the urge to ride my motorcycle out at night to buy some. It's your fault that I'm having these temptations now, you know. Do you remember when I told you I was hesitant to meet up with you like this? I'd like it if you could forget I ever said that. We both sleep under the same roof. There's no point in stressing over it. And besides, I just need to steel my resolve. Say, I have just one. Could you continue to show me new places like this? Just until graduation. I'd like to see more of this world that I've been so blind to. Or is that too selfish a request? Thank you. Let's make some wonderful memories with what little time we have left. You've taught me so many new things. Whether you're taking command in battle or just talking with me, like, as long as I have these memories of you, I'll be all right. Or so I hope. Now then, the day is still young. You promised me your time. I'd like you to make good on that now.
I see you're back. I think.
So dance. If you wanna go ahead, free to do whatever.
Let's skim through this chapter. Yes, exactly.
Hello. I'd been interested in seeing that film for a while now. While the road trip plot was nothing out of the ordinary, the way the characters expressed their emotions was masterful. When the main character left everything behind to go on a journey. And then in the final scene, he decided to return to his normal life. Say, have you ever thought of running away to a place like that? Somewhere far away where no one knows who you are? I see. So you feel that way too sometimes. I'm not saying I wish to leave everything behind. It's just that every now and then, the things that matter are the very things that hold you back. The future of the company, the weight of my responsibilities. Sometimes I even wish that I wasn't shackled by the Kirijo family name. I know. I
understand that I can't afford to think. Listen to me complaining like this. Talking to you has become something of an outlet for me. I'm sure you're sick of it by now. That's very kind of you. The offer is quite tempting. I hope you know what you're getting into. While we're on the topic, there's something I'd like to ask you. Hypothetically, let's say that I knew I could never be with him, but even so, I couldn't help but harbor these feelings. Would that be... keep in mind, this is a what-if scenario. Up to me.
There you are. Hey, Mitsuru! I've been looking all over for you. So this is where you've been. Come on, let's go.
What? Wait a minute. I didn't make any plans with you for today.
What does it matter? I managed to secure an opening in my schedule tonight. I'm a very busy man, you know. As a simple student, you're just going to have to work around it.
I can't. I've already made plans.
Do you know how long I spent looking for you? Don't tell me you have something more important to do than spend time with me. Why the long face? You're supposed to be my fiancé, you know. Honestly, I thought you understood our arrangement. You're going to be my future wife. You'll need to learn some obedience. Why must you and your family always be so difficult? Well, at least your father's not around anymore, so that's something of a relief. I imagine you feel the same.
How dare you say that? Thank you.
Who the hell are you? This is none of your business. Get lost. Come on, Mitsuru. You know how this works. Corporate management is not child's play. No matter how smart you are, you're still going to need my knowledge and experience. And the Kirijo group still needs the cooperation of my company.
Yes.
Good girl, Mitsuru. I knew you would listen to reason. Now, let's go. I've made reservations for us at a luxurious restaurant.
All right. I wish you hadn't seen that. Thank you for today. It was quite fun. I'm sorry. Really. Please excuse me. It's all right. I appreciate the sentiment, though.
Come on, Mitsuru, hurry up. By the way, who do you think you are worming your way into her favor? You ought to know your place in society. A commoner like you isn't even fit to breathe the same air. Don't you understand? You're just a nuisance. There's a world of difference between you and us. Mitsuru, take care not to associate with his...
Enough.
Mitsuru?
I said that's enough! I won't let you insult him!
What? Why are you getting so angry?
This is someone I have a great deal of respect for. If you insult him, you insult me!
Mitsuru? What are you saying? You would side with him over me?
You said there was a world of difference between you and him. Well, you're right. You can't compare to him at all. He stands on his own 2 feet, challenging fate with his own strength of will. Seeing his outlook on life has inspired and influenced me countless times. I want to be with him. Now. And forever.
You want to be with him? Now and forever? What are you trying to say? You're supposed to be my fiancé. Are you implying I'm beneath this nobody? Take that back this instant, Mitsuru! It's not too late to ask for forgiveness. Think about the future of your company.
I will not apologize. I want to be with him. You're not the one supporting me in my time of need. The group will do just fine on its own. We don't need help from a weasel like you. As of today, we'll have nothing to do with each other. And if you dare to attempt some petty retaliation, then next time you'll have the full might of the group to contend with. Get out of here, you Philistine! I don't want to see your face ever again!
Grandpa! Grandpa!
I...
Yeah.
Yes.
You were actually able to keep up with me on my training regimen. So, what do you think? Well, the reason I asked you to join me today is...
We finally found you, Akihiko Sanada. We've had a good run up until now. Today's where it ends.
Don't feel bad about screaming if you gotta. No one's coming to save you, though.
These guys just don't know when to quit.
There's no getting away this time. Not for you, and not for your chicken shit buddy either. Not that it'd matter anyway. You guys live at the dorm nearby, don't you?
Yeah, we saw some girls there. And a kid, too. Sure hope they're keeping safe.
Stay back. I'll create an opening so you can escape. If you're going after my friends, then I'll be your first obstacle. Come on.
Don't you know what'll happen if a trained guy like you hits an amateur? The boxing team will be suspended, and you'll be expelled. Or worse, you'll go to prison, and your life will be over. Is that what you want? Huh?
That is true. I could never do something like that to my supervisor. But even if that's how I feel, I can't back down now. I'll carry that responsibility and pay for it the rest of my life if I have to. I will protect what's important to me. That's why I have these fists.
Ah, what the hell are you going on about?
Oh. All right, then. I'll trust my back to you. Just try not to hurt him. I'm sure you can handle that.
Cut Lucky little bastards!
Looks like that does it. That was quite the challenge considering their numbers. Are you alright? Don't ever show your face around here again. If I ever hear you're threatening my friends, you know what'll happen next.
Got it.
Come on, it's getting cold. Plus, someone might have called the police. Let's go to my room for now. Well, I'd like to put out some tea, but I have to take these off first. They're hand wraps, mainly for protecting my hands and wrists. Not only do these protect me, but they can affect the power of my punches depending on how I wrap them. Whether my fists deal damage or not depends on these. I guess they're like my partners in the ring. Anyways, make yourself comfortable. So, the reason I asked you to join me today. I spent a lot of time training and gaining more experience. And I thought I'd finally reached a point where I could feel confident in my abilities. But after hearing what the appraiser said, I felt anger too. Knowing that all the training I'd put myself through was meaningless. I told myself I'd face things head on. But I'm still as weak as I was before. Tell me, do you think I'm strong enough now? I'd like to think so, but I did lose my way. Everyone loses confidence in themselves from time to time. Being on the verge of grasping something, but grappling with the fear and frustration of losing everything again. And it's a feeling I understand all too well. I know we've pushed this crucial decision on you, and I can only imagine how hard that must be. But try not to blame Junpei and the others. You really are strong, you know that? Anyway, as someone who was there too, I just wanted you to know. No matter what you decide, I'm still gonna do what I have to do. I've faced off against countless opponents to get where I am now. If I said all my training was meaningless, then that would be spitting on all of their efforts too. And that would be absolutely unacceptable. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a tangent like that. Not only did I ask you to join me today, but you got dragged into my fight too. I've got to at least pay you back for that. I'm pretty sure my special protein blend is around here somewhere. Oh, that. I was thinking of sending that back to my parents when I write them a New Year's card. We don't know how the future's gonna turn out. You're one unusual guy. I was thinking this during the fight earlier, but for some reason, I feel like I can trust you to watch my back. Together, we can overcome anything. For a long time, all I cared about was having the power to protect others. And I thought being hard on myself and competing with others was the only way I was going to do that. Although, it is true that I've gotten more capable through my reckless approach. But now, there are others who fight alongside me. So I have people who I want to protect. But at the same time, I want them to be there fighting with me. In the end, it's because I have all of you that I feel like I can become even stronger. I still don't know if I'm strong or kind enough to deserve this medal, but this is my starting point, and it's something that I should keep with me. You've taught me another valuable lesson today. Now, where to put this? Oh, sure. I did it, Miki. It's a huge honor. I'll fight to protect it like a champ, guarding his title. I may not be very good at motivating people with words, or communicating how I feel, but you can trust I'll never back down from a fight. Even if I'm battered and on the ground, I'll get back up every time. I'll never give up. That's my duty to all of you. So you can count on me. I swear I will protect you. That being said, there's still so much I owe you for. I'll be doing what I can to pay back that debt. I haven't really thanked you for all your help until now either. Ah, right. I was going to at least thank you for what you did today. Damn. Looks like I'm out of protein powder. What else do I have? Ah, here. You can have these dumbbells. Just a minute, I'll get them ready for you. You could change the weight on these ones to match whatever your muscle strength is. In your case, I'd start with 8 kilos. No, actually, I think you can handle 10. You could also use a machine, but you gotta do some resistance training with free weights too.
It's amazing commodities! I'm going to do it. Good, good. Not bad, kid. Thanks, kid. Bye-bye.
Let's go to Hagakure! My younger brother and I were twins, but not the kind that looked the same. Everyone called me the uglier Suimitsu. They always compared me to him. There was a time when I used to hit him for no reason. But even then, he still treated me like a brother. Then in middle school, we bought steamed buns. And then they said the meat was undercooked. Just his bun, though. But I couldn't even cry. I actually felt relieved. What kind of person feels joy when their own brother dies? At first, I tried to be more like him. I went to cram schools and did martial arts and everything. But I could never be as good, and eventually, I started to feel like people were laughing at me. The only time I feel safe is when I'm eating. All that matters is what's in front of me. See? That's what the Gourmet King really is. I only eat to run away from my problems, but if I keep this up, I'll never be able to replace my brother. Will I?
really how it is? I hear you. You're right. I can never be like my brother. We're two different people. How did I miss something so obvious? I can be pretty dumb sometimes. Thank you. Really, thank you.
I am thou. Thou art I, the innermost power of the moon arcana. Hath we now bestow upon thee the ultimate form of the moon within thyself.
Oh, I know this is sudden, but I'm relieving you of your duties as the Gourmet King's Royal Guard. Because you're the new king. All hail Gourmet King the Second! The restaurants in the strip mall gave this to me because of how often I eat there. I feel like I've been fake all this time. But one day, I will become the true Gourmet King. I think I'll become a food critic. It'll be my job to eat. I'm gonna become a food master. Then when I die and go to the afterlife, I can face my brother. And then I can tell him I was the best at something for once in my life. So until I reclaim my crown, you can hang on to it. I may have lost my title, but someday I'll make my grand return as Gourmet King III. That's my promise to you. And to my little brother. Huh. I've been talking so much about my brother, but I'm okay. My memories didn't make me sad and hungry this time. Oh, wow. I never realized how good the ramen tastes here.
Estamos de vuelta, chicos, porque ha llegado el fatídico día 14 de diciembre. Comienzan los finales del segundo trimestre. Que empiece el examen. ¿Cuál de las siguientes opciones es originaria de la India? Pues yo diría que es el número 0. Día 15 de diciembre. Continúan los exámenes. Cuando las enzimas beta-amilasas de los boniatos se calientan, reaccionan con el almidón presente para producir un disacárido. ¿Cuál? La maltosa. Creo que vamos bien. Día 16 de diciembre. Siguen los exámenes. ¿A qué diosa romana se le ha atribuido el nombre del mes de abril? A Venus. Y además, en abril es mi cumpleaños. Pasamos al siguiente día. Jueves 17 de diciembre. En la novela de Genji, ¿a quién compara Hikaru Genji con los cerezos en flor? Pues me parece que era Murasaki Noue. Viernes 18 de diciembre, ya solo quedan 2 días. ¿Cuál de los siguientes plurales es incorrecto? Manda más. Y chicos, por fin el último día de exámenes. Llega el 19 de diciembre. Aquí no tenéis que preocuparos porque las respuestas serán automáticas. El bolígrafo no para. Bueno, continuamos con nuestra vida.
Go. All right. You go on ahead to the shrine. I'll grab us some takoyaki. Sweet. Be right there. Got some takoyaki. This one's for you. Sure thing. Be sure to thank me for every single bite. Just messing around. To be honest, this is kind of an apology for the other day. You know, back when I blew up at you. One pack of takoyaki ain't gonna make up for it. Thanks. Still, I felt like words weren't enough for an apology. I took my anger out on you. And you totally didn't deserve that. It's 'cause I really wanted to take out my anger on someone. Remember when I mentioned I was visiting someone at the hospital? And how I pissed her off, but I didn't know what I did wrong? A while back, I was asked what I'd be doing with my life in 2 years. By Chidori. And being the insensitive dumbass I am, for a long time, I didn't even understand how it must have felt for her to ask me that. So it's no wonder she got upset. She was facing something really scary. And there I was, acting like it was no big deal. The other day, when everyone was all calm and chatting about what Ryoji said, it put everything into perspective. And it finally hit me. I lost my shit and snapped at you. I'm really sorry about that, man. Hey, come on, eat up. Don't want cold takoyaki, do you? Woohoo, that was tasty. And, hey, by the way, have you decided what you're gonna do on the 31st yet? I hear you. It's a hell of a decision to make. Look, man. Me and the others might tell you all kinds of stuff. But whatever we say, go with your own gut. I've always been jealous of you, but at the same time, I knew you were the one making all the tough calls. You're always looking out for everyone around you. Even people like me. Sure, I was jealous, but watching you? So, I figured maybe it's time you chose what you wanted to do for a change. Besides, forgetting everything doesn't exactly sound so bad, does it? I mean, I obviously wouldn't like that. But that's just how I feel. You should follow your feelings. Whatever you choose. All right, that's enough serious stuff. Chats like this make my throat all dry. Or maybe it's just the takoyaki. Let's grab a drink somewhere and head back. Is that okay with you?
Right.
So dance. If you wanna go ahead, free to do whatever. I'm chilling on my bed. I'm out in my biz, so mind your own biz. Whatever like is, we gon' flow with this head. Hey, 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 feeling the fire with the burning desire. Every day we inspire, but never expires. But we gon' chill today. Let me rock the world tomorrow, you know.
Yes? Who is it?
It's me.
Huh? Oh, come in. You don't stop by very often, Senpai. Is something wrong?
No, not particularly. Is this a bad time?
Aw, are you feeling lonely?
Hey, are you teasing me?
Nah, I'd never.
Sure.
I wonder what this Nyx is like. Do you think it's inside Tartarus?
I have no idea.
Oh, by the way, I've made my decision. I want to fight to the end. It's better than doing nothing. That's why you're here, right, Senpai?
You got me.
Yeah, you're pretty easy to read.
I've made my decision as well. The Kirijo group is slowly regaining its footing. After I graduate, the plan is for me to eventually take over as leader. Turning back was never really an option for me.
But what if you die?
If we can defeat Nyx and I die in the process, then the company will continue on without me. And I'm confident they'd carry on my wishes.
But from what we've heard, Nyx can't be defeated. Though I kinda wonder about that. We've got someone on our team who seems pretty unkillable too.
That's true. And he's an exceptional persona user, even if death was empowering him from within.
He's an interesting guy, huh?
He certainly is.
You know, if things don't work out, I think I'll still be okay as long as I'm with everyone. Honestly, I don't think it matters if we live or die. All that really matters is that we're proud of how we lived. And I know I'd be proud if we decided to fight Nyx.
Is this about honoring your father's legacy?
Yeah, that's part of it. But mostly, it's about me and how I feel.
I understand.
Senpai, a while back, you asked me to face what comes next with you. You didn't forget, did you?
I could never forget. We'll fight together, Yukari.
Good.
It's amazing commodities! I'm going to do it. Good, good. Not bad, kid. Thanks, kid. Bye-bye.
Never feel like miserable. Never knew I'm thinking this will last forever. Baby, stay with me. You gotta say now you're the closer of me. I never feel like so different now. It doesn't seem like we've been far apart through your life. My life will turn out. It doesn't seem.
All right, class is starting. What's up?
Thanks. Oh, you came. Thanks. So, there's something I want to ask you. Why do you spend so much time with me? It's gotten you into a whole mess of trouble. And honestly, some of the stuff I've said is really not okay. Is it because we're both persona users? Or are we actually good friends? Or do you, by any chance, have... What do you really think of me? What? No way. Are you serious? You're not pulling my leg, are you? You really mean it? Wow. Sorry. It just feels like a weight's been lifted off my shoulders. The tears won't stop coming. You're so hard to read. You're always so kind to everyone. That's why I thought you saw me as just a friend like everyone else. Lately, I found myself getting upset when I've seen you talking with Fuka. It made me scared that I was turning into a petty, jealous person. I felt awful about it. So, I'd like it if you had eyes for me. And only me. So, will you? Oh gosh, what am I saying? I'm gonna go now.
Oh, it's you. Well,
Hey,
Se viene otro momento importante, 21 de diciembre, vamos a trabajar por última vez a tiempo parcial. Si habéis estado siguiendo la guía, debería de saltaros un trofeo tras este trabajo. Ahí tenemos el trofeo Mentalidad de Tiburón, por haber ganado al menos 50.000 yens en trabajos a tiempo parcial. Pues nada chicos, vamos a continuar un poquito más y enseguida volveremos al tártaro.
Good morning. This is Elizabeth. I am calling to inform you that more humans have wandered into Tartarus. 2 this time, I believe. Please swiftly and safely conduct a search and rescue. Goodbye now.
Well then.
Thank you very much.
Attention, please. Fushimi-san of Class 1C. The Student Council President would like to speak with you. Please report to the Student Council room immediately. I repeat.
The President wants to speak with me? Don't tell me she thinks I stole the money too. Yes, you're right. She'll help us, won't she? And if I talk to her, at least I won't have to trouble you anymore. Shall we head to the student council room then?
Good. You're both here. I apologize for the sudden announcement. The reason I called you here is...
It's because people are saying I stole money, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. I happened to overhear the rumors. First, I'd like to hear from you directly on whether you actually did it or not.
Miss President, Senpai, no, I can't keep doing this. I need to stand up for myself. I didn't do it.
Well, I thought as much.
You believe me?
Considering all the work you've been doing for the student council, I can't imagine you'd be the type to steal. I fully expected it to be nothing but a baseless rumor. I just wanted to hear it directly from you.
Miss President, thank you so much.
That said, we can't expect everyone else to be as understanding. As you have seen, people are openly sullying your reputation because they don't know you as well as we do. I'll figure something out for the time being. That's my duty as the student council president. Give me a hand, will you? I'd like your opinion on how to proceed. You've spent more time with Fushimi, so you understand her situation much better than I do. I wish I could handle this right away, but I have other business to take care of. You don't have plans tonight, do you? Come to my room when you're available. And I'd prefer you try not to be seen by anyone.
Wait, does that you two will be meeting alone?
Alone? I'm not sure I understand the problem. If too many people get involved, it could draw unwanted attention. The two of us can handle this, so you...
No, I can't allow that.
Fushimi.
All I have to do is clear my name, right? I can do something about it on my own. I'm going to demand an explanation from the teacher.
Wait, Fushimi!
I clearly remember what happened that day. You had a bandage on your chin because you cut yourself while shaving. I also remember handing the fee money to you directly. Or are you really going to say that this is my mistake?
Fee money?
Give me an explanation right now, or else.
I'm so sorry. You're right. It's completely my fault.
Well, Senpai has been... Wait, what?
Well, the truth is, I accidentally took the money home with me. I've been meaning to bring it back here, but then I completely forgot.
What? What?
It's just, the payment deadline was pushed back, so I didn't think it was that urgent. Then I kept forgetting to bring it in each day, but I figured I'd get around to it eventually. And, well, here we are now.
How could you?
I know, this is completely my responsibility. I'll make sure to explain everything. I'm sorry for the trouble.
So there's the truth. I'm almost more dumbfounded than angry. How do you even call yourself a teacher?
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, Miss President. Everyone makes mistakes. Well, that concludes my business here. Let's go, Senpai. Senpai, over here! Can you believe I went to the faculty office and said all that? I even surprised myself a bit. This whole thing is just... Come on! Can you blame me? Remember when I said, I can't allow that to the student council president? It's just, when I thought about you and Miss President being alone in a room together, I got really mad at even the thought of it. I've been like that ever since I was little. Or so my mom says. Normally, I'm quiet and timid, but when it comes to something I care about, I get really aggressive. It's because... there's something I want to say to you. Actually, I've wanted to say it for a while, but I didn't think I had it in me. But I think I can do it now. Senpai, I love you. Huh? What did you say? Oh, I'm so happy. Feels like something out of a manga. I hope we continue to get along well together. To apologize to the student council president. Is it okay if I ask you to wait by the school gate? I'd like for us to be able to go home together.
Welcome back!
So dance, if you wanna go ahead. Free to do whatever, I'm chilling on my bed. I'm minding my biz, so mind your own biz. Whatever life is, we gon' throw it.
Thank you very much.
Hey, feeling the fire.
Sorry for making you come all the way up here. Well... Would you have a practice match with me? Right here, right now. It's just, now we're going up against that thing that lived inside of you, right? I thought if we sparred, I could get an idea of how well I would do against it. I trained in secret for a long time,
so I could avenge my mom's death. That was the only time I could forget the pain. But I've changed since then. I want to use this power to help me live my own life. I'd promised that I'd see this through to the end. Anyway, I want you to see me the way I am now, Senpai. Of course, I don't want us to actually get hurt, so I'll be using this. And this one's for you. Thank you for this. Now then, please, take this seriously. Otherwise, there's no point. I never noticed you could see the stars so clearly up here. You were just as strong as I thought, Senpai. I had no chance. At least, now I know where I stand compared to you. Yes, I gave it my all. Although, it is still frustrating to see such a difference in our skills. I don't know what decision you'll make in the end, but as long as there's time, I won't stop training. So would you mind if I challenged you again sometime? Thank you. I'll get closer to beating you. Just wait. I really like it here. I've made so many memories since coming to this dorm. Both fun and difficult ones. But I feel like living means carrying it all with you and move. I used to think I didn't have a place to call home, but I realized that's not something you get from someone else. Home, my real home, is the place that helps me move forward. That's why I believe fighting to come back here is what Aragaki-san would have wanted. I've learned that everyone at the dorm has their own reasons for staying. And that means I need to do my best too. I never would have figured that out if I didn't have you all behind me. I like being on the rooftop at night, but maybe it's too cold to be out here in December. Can we talk some more inside? I'd like to go over today's battle before I forget. Oh, and while we're at it, you should say hi to Hamburger too. Maybe it's because it's winter, but his fur's gotten so fluffy and cute.
I thought you were gonna go visit your mother's grave.
Sonata-san.
You sure this is where you want to be?
Well, I was planning on visiting her, but when I thought about what I was gonna say to her, it just didn't feel right. I've still got unfinished business to take care of first.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't have anything to tell Shinji right now. I've got my own stuff to deal with.
An unbeatable enemy, huh?
Beats me. It doesn't matter, though. I've already made up my mind. I don't care what I'm up against. I'm gonna look it straight in the eyes.
Straight in the eyes. I like the sound of that. You can count me in, too.
All right.
Well,
Estoy de vuelta, chicos, y ha llegado el momento de volver al Tártaro. Pero antes, como siempre, vamos a ir primero a la discoteca para hablar con la divina y activar la lectura de rareza. Importantísimo. Recordad que esta lectura nos permite encontrar sombras doradas con más facilidad, las cuales nos dan bastante dinero y también experiencia para subir de nivel. Hecho esto, nos vamos al Tártaro. Chicos, como siempre lo dejamos por aquí. Espero que os esté gustando mucho la guía, que os esté resultando muy útil. Os agradecería un buen like, suscribiros al canal para más contenido y nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. ¡Hasta pronto, gentecilla!